Hello everyone, Neal here. A quick message before we get to today's game. Just wanted to send a very big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and also just all of our listeners for a wonderful 2019. This is a New Year's Eve episode, and we are inching our way to a brand new decade of 2020. And as some of you might have seen in the crop, some of our Patreon supporters posted pictures of our thank you postcard that we sent. And on that postcard is actually a percentage off coupon for our merchandise store over at Inked and Screened. We figured it's the end of the year, it's the end of the decade, and the beginning of a new year, beginning of 2020. Let's just open up that percentage off coupon to everyone as a thank you. So please go to inkedandscreen.com or on our website at trivialitypodcast.com and click merchandise. And once you get to Inked and Screened, feel free to take 25% off all of our merchandise by using the code THANKS. That's THANKS, all in caps, thanks. This is our way of thanking you for supporting the show, for making 2019 our best year yet, and for bringing us into the new year and the new decade of 2020 to make, hopefully, that year our best year yet. So thank you very, very much to everyone who supports the show, who listens. We really, really appreciate it, and we couldn't think of a better group of people to spend the end of the decade with than you. Thank you very much, and enjoy today's episode of Triviality.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and in the studio today, I'm joined by Jeff. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Neal?
Doing well. And Ken, how are you?
Always second place. You know?
Oh, well, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, I suppose. And Matt, you're over there in L.A. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. I always get a special introduction on these episodes now because I'm not sitting across from you.
I know. And next week I'm going to be in you, or in your apartment. In your apartment.
Yeah, you are no longer welcome. Just so you know.
The door will be locked. I'm just really excited because Jeff and I were just talking beforehand. First of all, Jeff is now drinking coffee, which makes me giddy like a little schoolboy because I can expose you to many different beans. Today you're drinking a Love Supreme by Dark Matter, our sponsor for today.
It's not.
We hope they are. We have to reach out to Dark Matter.
We'll send an email.
Yeah. But you're into coffee, and we were talking about Disney Plus. So I was watching Brink the other day. I was watching The Rocketeer, and I watched Willow with Val Kilmer.
Get out of here!
You guys have too much time on your hands.
You went for all the classics right away.
Right away. I don't care about any of the original
Didn't
series.
watch Xenon?
I did not watch Xenon.
That's a shame.
We did watch High School Musical, the series, though, Colleen and I. So that's a crazy title. But what's even more interesting than Disney Plus is our guest host today, who we've had on, I think, twice. And they've both been amazing guest appearances. But you may know him from Smarty Pants Monthly, and that's Paul Poquette. How's it going, Paul?
Going very well. How are you guys?
Doing well. So for people who don't know who you are and what you're doing, why don't you give us a little background?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about the Smarty Pants. It's a monthly written quiz. You pay what you want. You can sign up for it at triviahalloffame.com. There's a Smarty Pants link there, and it's meant to be fun, entertaining questions. It's 100 of them a week, and we list the top scorers. That's just a good time.
Nice.
And it's pay what you want. So.
Well, we saw some of the questions on our last episode, and they were great and really well written. A lot of funny Easter eggs in there and
Twists
jokes.
Twists and turns.
And you also just said you did a charity event the other night.
Yeah, this was actually a big deal. In Ottawa, it's called World Trivia Night. Despite the name, it's just an Ottawa thing. But we get like 1,500, 2,000 people come out, helps raise money for the foster kids in Ottawa. And I've been doing that now for about 25 years. So it was quite the night. A lot of fun.
Is there a website people can go to donate when it's not going on?
I believe if you Google World Trivia Night, it'll take you to that directly. I believe.
Wonderful.
I'm glad Canada claims a world thing since we have baseball.
Yeah.
And Paul, I believe you said that you're going to be attending Sporkle's TriviaCon in Vegas. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm doing the opening quiz, the opening written quiz, which is in the sort of Smarty Pants monthly format, actually.
Oh, well, great. Well, that's a wonderful
Gosh.
segue.
Who else is going to be at Trivia?
I wonder.
I think Matt's going to be at TriviaCon, and I think Jeff's going to be at TriviaCon. Ken and I are still on the fence.
I'm going to be
I-
at the craps table.
Yeah, Ken will be at the craps table, and Matt will be at roulette.
Hemorrhaging his money to the house.
But no, we're going to be there. We're going to be at TriviaCon. If you go to the website, we're pretty sure it should be up there by now. You'll see that we're hosting a game in our normal format, but it's going to be a little bit different in that anyone who shows up is going to be playing solo with the game, and there's going to be a prize package for the winner, second and third prize from sort of our own pool of products. And yeah, you get to hang out. We're
Michael
excited.
Scott says I like to call it TBD.
TBD, yeah. Still figuring things out. There's going to be a feats of strength, an arm wrestling competition. We're not sure really, but there's going to be a couple things in there.
Back tattoo runway.
Back tattoo runway. That's right. Yeah,
Is that where I do a catwalk, but on Neal's back tattoo?
Yeah.
we should just have a tattoo artist there, and if you want a tattoo of our logo, it's free. But we'll see. I don't know who would actually want that, but anyway. So we're going to do 2-on-2, and Ken and I are going to be a team. We'll figure out our team
I
name.
like your shirt. It's a bat dressed up as Batman and a Robin dressed up as Robin.
Yeah.
So since you and some of our friends call me Rat as a nickname, how about we're Rat Man?
Ooh, Ratman. I like that. We're Ratman. So, Jeff, you're going to be with Matt. What do you guys think?
I don't know what's on your shirt, Jeff. I can't see it.
Well, come on, take a guess. My shirt is always a monocolor.
It's like greenish blue sort of thing. Evergreen.
Ken had a good name. How about you guys are just Evergreen?
That's fair.
Since it's Matt still looks exactly like he looked in high school too, so he's Evergreen too.
Oh, that was nice.
Where are those bangs though? Yeah.
Well, he's still got the eyeliner, though. At least he's rocking that. So since it's 2-on-2, we got to do a wager. And we're kind of thinking of a few different things, but Jeff came up with a good one. What do you think, Jeff?
Celebrity slam poetry, right?
Yeah,
That's what we're doing?
So what is that, Jeff? Can you explain it?
Yeah, so basically we're going to do famous poem passage readings, but as celebrity impersonations.
Yep. So the losing team will be doing that. We'll record it, and we'll probably just release it, I guess, to everyone.
And to make it
Yeah.
more painful, we're also not going to tell you whose voice we're doing, especially if it's Matt and myself, and it will be excruciating.
Yes. So that should be good. But let's see who has his best celebrity impersonation voice. Let's see how the rules guy does Gilbert Gottfried.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare, and I am the cream.
You would almost think that was the real Gilbert Gottfried. He did such a good impression.
It's so close. He's the Frank Caliendo of Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, so that was not the Gilbert Gottfried reading. That was the rules guy doing Gilbert Gottfried. Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, Paul, feel free to take the reins here, and we're excited to get a little taste of Smarty Pants Monthly.
Yeah, me too. I realized last time I came on, I'm used to doing pub trivia where I control the room by the power of my voice. And I was listening to the last podcast, and I'm screaming at you for the full time. But that was the changed episode, so it's probably just as well that was the case.
Exactly.
All right, let's get our feet wet with a somewhat easy one, I think. Each installment of what horror movie series usually begins by explaining why Jason isn't really dead and ends with him dying like totally for real this time.
Okay, we're good.
We're good over here?
These are the ones that get mixed up. This is Halloween, right? Is this?
Could be. What was the... I missed part of that. Jason?
Yeah. Which one's Jason in?
Could be Halloween.
Man. I thought you would know.
I don't really watch horror movies.
It's Halloween or the Friday the 13th series.
Could be Friday the 13th.
This is painful for Neal and Ken to listen to, I'm sure.
Probably, but I don't
It's
care.
pretty painful. Can you name the other one?
Michael Myers.
So which is which?
Yeah, baby.
Just a sneak preview of the impressions you'll get.
I'm getting an
When we
impression that I
lose.
don't want to do
When
this.
me and Neal inevitably lose.
Yeah, let's go, I guess, Halloween, because you don't seem to have any idea. He's drinking. He gave up. Okay, we're locking it with Halloween.
Yeah, we went with Friday the 13th.
Ah.
Yeah, Halloween is Michael Myers. So it is Friday the 13th. We'll move on to number 2. In 2019, JP Morgan launched a Volfefe index, that's VOLFEFE, to track market volatility for U.S. Treasury bonds caused by whose tweets?
Yeah, we're locked in, Matt.
So I'm guessing if it's Bol Fefe, we're thinking of Kofefe.
Yeah.
So
I just had a cup of Kofefe here.
very nice. So I guess we go.
That's a Trumpster.
Yeah.
It's Volfefe because it's the volatility of the Cofefe index, basically. Yeah, we said Donald Trump.
It is Donald Trump. Number 3. In 2009, a Taiwanese-Canadian artist built a big green house that looks just like the little plastic ones that come with what board game?
Oh, wait. I have 2 guesses, Ken. And I don't know.
I think it's the second one that you wrote.
Okay. We're locking with that. I don't think the other one has that.
Yeah. Okay. We're locked in.
This is Monopoly, right?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, when I think of little plastic greenhouses, Monopoly is the first thing that comes to mind.
Is there a second thing that comes to mind?
Nope.
Okay. Monopoly it is.
All right.
Locked in.
We're going to lock in Monopoly.
Yeah, we said the same. We were thinking about the game of life. Maybe that has houses, but we're too young to have played life.
Yeah.
Significantly.
we haven't mastered life yet.
I feel like all the little pieces in that are like little white plastic pieces.
Oh,
but I
okay.
could
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Yeah, I'm considerably older than you guys, and I've never played the game of life either. So there you go. It is definitely Monopoly, though.
Is that a correct perception that it's like older people are a little more familiar with life?
I think so. In both senses, the board game and the thing itself.
I was going to say that would make sense.
A little older, a little wiser.
They should like update it where you just get crippling debt at the beginning of it and you never get out.
You just try to get out.
You just never get out. It never
The
happens.
Millennial Edition.
The best you can hope for is you stably make your payments in your apartment every month.
You never retire. You leave your children with debt.
Yeah, I'd like to. They have that spinner on the Game of Life, that whatever, and for a Patreon, maybe one day I'll just take a whole week and I'll just rule my life by the spinner and see what happens.
And they can have every 4th round of Boomer coming on trying to ask you why you're not at your own house yet. So number 4, what is the only movie on IMDb that can get a ranking of 11, which is one better than 10 in it?
You good?
Oh yeah, we're good over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Matt, this is Spinal Tap.
But it goes to 11.
Yeah, we went with Spinal Tap.
Yep. Now, there's a debate about whether you can get away with just calling a Spinal Tap or whether you have to call it this is Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap, official answer.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it to you either way.
My
you.
favorite moment of that movie is when the Stonehenge drops from the stage ceiling.
That is a good moment. If you haven't seen the movie, there's a great clip. You can just find the clip of them talking about jazz and how it's not music, and it's really funny.
And Billy Crystal has a tiny part in it as a mime, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Is it Sex Farm? What's the song?
Sex Farm, yeah.
Yeah, Rob
That
Reiner.
movie's so good.
We will do number 5. What is the most heavily populated country to have never won a medal at the Winter Olympics?
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay, that's
We're
interesting.
going to lock in.
So I would think it'd be probably a warm weather country, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure China, I would guess China's one. They're the most populated country. Number 2 is India. How do you feel about India?
What do they play? Like a lot of cricket, right?
That's a big sport for them, yeah.
And just a reminder, we are talking specifically about the Winter Olympics.
Right.
Sorry, Bryden. I feel like we just apologize to Bryden anytime cricket comes up.
I understand cricket now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he watched a 20-minute Vox piece.
Yeah.
The only cricket
Now I know everything about cricket there is.
The only thing I know about cricket is that Will Smith used it in Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say
Noise
that
cricket.
you can try and figure out temperature with them. India's possible. After that, it's the United States for population. They've definitely won. 4 would be Brazil, which is possible. And I would guess by the time you get to number 5, which if I'm not mistaken is Indonesia. I don't think Indonesia's won. So I'm happy to go with you think India maybe? I mean, that's pretty high up there, but it's entirely plausible.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big country that you'd think that somebody from there would have won medals and something.
I mean, it's possible it's China and I'm wrong too, but I would guess maybe India.
Yeah, let's go India.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going a little further down the list. I remember Bangladesh being a sneaky, highly populated country, so we're going Bangladesh.
It's actually India.
Oh, good job.
All right.
India underperforms the Olympics generally, actually. This ties our game up, by the way, by my count. I think we're at... and the question is this time, every question is worth 1,000 points.
All right, 4,000 to 4,000.
It's 4,000 to
It's going to be
4,000.
the highest scoring game
Oh, that's
ever.
great. You just gave us a score update for us. That's wonderful. And speaking of that being question 5, we've gotten a lot of question 5 submissions lately, so thank you guys for sending those in and for sending ones that normally we wouldn't write. There was a nice science one someone sent to me. I
Keep them
won't
coming.
Yeah, I won't name them now. I'll name it on the game, but I appreciate you sending those.
Eventually, we'll host games again, and then we'll start getting those out for you guys.
Yes.
Number 6. This is actually a question about your neck of the woods. Rich Whitney was the Green Party candidate for governor of Illinois. Unfortunately, there was a typo in his name in 23 wards, about half of which were mostly African-American areas. How exactly did his name appear in those wards? And by the way, he did definitely lose. So Rich Whitney, Green Party candidate, governor of Illinois.
Let's lock in.
Okay, I'm not too sure.
I'm guessing it's Rich Whitey.
Oh,
Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's what we'll go with.
Very popular candidate usually wins. Rich Whitey.
Yeah, we said the same.
Yeah, for the first time, Rich Whitey did not win in an election in the U.S.
A different Rich Whitey one.
Yes.
that sounds like a Dave Chappelle skit. That'd be a really good skit there.
Number 6. They put a statue of me in LA's Chinatown, which makes sense. There's also a statue of me in Hong Kong, which also makes sense. But weirdly, the first ever statue of me went up in Mostar, Bosnia, which makes a lot less sense. Who am I?
Whatever you think, Neal.
Okay, I just have a random guess here, but what do you think about this?
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right, we're locked in.
What do you think, Matt?
I think that this is probably like 8 minutes for me, and I haven't seen it. I don't know where the statue is. I'm thinking Jackie Chan.
That was my gut.
Very popular, in movies and that kind of stuff.
I would feel like he would have the international appeal, right?
Yeah, Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that was the other one that was creeping in on me.
And Bruce Lee would be a reference to the show, and sometimes people throw those in. What connection would Jackie Chan have to Bosnia?
No, and I think that's sort of the deal there. So maybe just being a film icon is enough.
Do you want to go Chan or Lee? What do we got?
I mean, I first thought Chan, so I'm a little
All right,
biased towards
Jackie Chan it is.
that. Okay.
We could be way off. I'm pretty sure there's a statue of Bruce Lee by his grave in Hong Kong, and I know there's one in L.A., and I just don't know about Bosnia, but that was just kind of where my head was at.
It is Bruce Lee. Yeah, though that coin flip killed you.
Yeah.
Killed us on the first one, too.
Cost you 1,000 points.
I know.
Yeah. I was actually in Mostar, and I thought about trying to find the Bruce Lee statue, but it was the other side of town. I didn't feel like the walk, so.
To see those bronze abs, you didn't want to take a little walk?
He's actually so fast that you can't see his statue because
Wow.
it's never in one place.
There we go. Number 8. Basketball player Andrei Kirilenko was from the same part of Russia as Mikhail Kalashnikov. So naturally, what number did Kirilenko wear?
Funny story. I actually met him 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
He was in my popular coffee chain in my new location.
And what happened
Great.
there? What did he order?
All right, so they're locked in.
He just ordered a large coffee for a large man.
So Kurilenko and who's
So
the
I
other one?
believe Kalashnikov refers to the AK-47.
Oh,
That's the
yes.
event or the creator of the AK-47.
You're right.
So let's say 47.
That works for me.
Yeah, Andrei Kirilenko, AK. He went by, Andrei, or AK-47 was his nickname. It's 47.
Wow, I got a basketball question right, kind of.
yeah. It is 47.
Nice.
We're going to do number 9. Patagonia gigas is a giant species of what bird, despite being just 8 inches long and weighing only 2/3 of an ounce?
Patagonia gigas.
Yeah, so that'd be Patagona, and the second word is gigas.
And what were the dimensions again, please?
8 inches long and weighing only 2/3 of an ounce. It's the giant species of what bird?
I thought for a moment it was like a bird, in the Patagonia line of clothing.
I have like a really good idea on this. Okay, after a little bit of discussion on our end, we're gonna lock in.
All right, Jeff, what are you thinking?
Thinking of the dimensions, I'm thinking of birds that are like super light. Most birds are super light, honestly.
Mhm.
They kind of have to be. That's how. Otherwise, you wouldn't get off the ground. Maybe like a giant hummingbird. I'm trying to think of like.
Hummingbirds are very small,
Right.
so that would make sense. Maybe like a swallow. Aren't those tiny?
Maybe.
Woodpeckers. No, woodpeckers get pretty big.
I mean, it could be any of the above. I just don't know.
I think
enough
Woody
about birds.
Woodpecker was 9 inches.
Okay. Thank you for the reference point.
Woody Woodpecker's head got pretty big for being a celebrity.
Yeah. I kind of like hummingbird.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a good guess, so that's all I got.
They're very tiny. We can put hummingbird.
Okay.
So we were thinking about what Darwin was studying on the Galapagos. So what was it? Sparrows, finches? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I mean, we talked about hummingbird, but we thought it was too big for that. Sparrow was what you said.
What was the species that he was? Was it Darwin's finches? No, it was sparrows, right?
I think. I can't
All
remember.
right, we're gonna lock in with sparrows.
I thought it was canaries. Maybe not. I don't know.
It is a giant hummingbird.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
One funny thing about hosting this is that when I listen to your show, I'm yelling at the show all the time. So I have to remember, no, don't say it out loud. You can actually hear me this time.
That's
It's finches for Darwin.
Oh,
Oh,
finches.
Yeah, it's Darwin finches.
Paul, that'd be an interesting dynamic. If there is a question where we're not getting it, you should just yell at us and see if it helps or not.
Don't give anything away. Just start shouting.
Yeah, just shout.
How do you not know this?
So I think it's 7,000 points to 7,000 points with one left in the round. So let's find out who will exit this round on top.
We return to Chicago for this one. Chicago's life gem turns it to diamonds. Celestis sends it to space. Celebrate life will mix it into fireworks. Eternally yours will add it to artwork. What would it be?
We're good, Matt.
Okay.
They probably take your ashes and they put it into a diamond. They take your ashes, put it into artwork.
I see.
Because I know someone got their ashes turned into fireworks. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know if it would be how specific, but human ashes.
That's I think ashes is specific enough.
Yeah, I vaguely thought about sending my remains to space. So we said human remains, ashes.
It is definitely your cremated remains.
All right. So after that round, we're tied up at 8,000 points.
Love it.
So shall we move straight to the swing round?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
What do you got for us today?
Well, this is something I sent in to the other podcast, the Trivia War for people that I don't think they ever used. So we will use it here. The category is, were they born in Australia? I will give you 10 celebrities. You tell me if they were born in Australia.
Okay.
So they are Iggy Azalea, Russell Crowe, Mel Gibson, Nicole Kidman, Olivia Newton-John, Guy Pearce, Margot Robbie, Charlize Theron, Keith Urban, and Naomi Watts. And it's were they born in Australia, so not if they're Australian citizens or not.
That's super tricky.
Yep.
Well, we will break apart, discuss, and come back with our answers.
As we talk over these answers, I just wanted to give a shout out to the crop. It's kind of funny, I think we started the crop on episode 50, and right now we're almost at 800 members, which is pretty crazy. And we really appreciate all of you posting in there. We'll have, sometimes we'll have quizzes from people like Aaron Barclay. Love all the references you all make to the show, the pictures of Macho Man or other references to specific episodes. Paul McLaughlin does a lot of those as well, which is always fun. Seeing you guys out at trivia wearing our t-shirt, all that kind of stuff. And one of our Patreon supporters, Tony Rask, recently posted in there to host some Late On Me's, but more importantly, she actually started a Learned League rundle. So thank you very much for doing that, Tony.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. We know there's a campaign to get us on Learned League. Not sure what it's going to take, but we're still holding out. We're just kind of on the outside.
Oh, you know me, Neal.
Once I can quit
Money.
my real job, then I have time for Learned League and stuff like that. So.
Yes, I feel like you have to be smart to be on Learned League, so we're gonna not.
Apparently there are lower
not take
levels of that, but I don't know what that entails.
If it's just simple mathematics, maybe we'll do it.
I think you'd all do fine in our league.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Well, yeah, so thank you, Tony, for starting that rundle. And for all of you in the rundle, we support you. We love you. We're cheering for you all equally.
From the wings.
From the wings. All right, Paul. So let's get back to these questions here.
All right. Well, you're going to kill me, but only 2 of these are actually born in Australia.
Oh, my God.
So, number 1, Iggy Azalea.
Right. We said yes.
Mm-hmm.
We too said yes.
You were both right. She was born Amethyst Kelly in Sydney, and she did the porn star name thing. So Iggy was her childhood pet, and she was on Azalea Street in Sydney. Russell Crowe.
Creative genius. Russell Crowe, we said yes.
Also said yes.
He was born in New Zealand.
Oh, see, I had an inkling because he's a huge rugby fan, and I couldn't remember if he was an All Blacks supporter or an Australian rugby, or because he owns a rugby team.
Of course he does.
Yeah, and he was in 30 Odd Foot of Grunts. That was his band name. Anyway.
What about Mel Gibson?
This one I knew for sure. He was born in New York City. I wanted to say it like that old commercial. New York City. But I believe he was born in New York.
We thought maybe he was born in Australia, so we said yes.
He was from Peekskill, New York. His father won a bunch of money on Jeopardy and moved them to Australia because he was part of some Catholic cult thingy and thought things were going to hell in the U.S. We moved everybody to Australia.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, doesn't it?
But Mel Gibson is interesting because he's got one of those classic like Australian names, you know?
Yeah,
Don't
he
you
does.
think?
Yeah, it's so funny that he was born in New York, goes to Australia.
It's something I can't really put my finger on, like what it is about the Australian names, but you know, it's there, right?
I think I know what you're saying.
It's mostly
Right,
English
Bryden?
names.
Bryden, yeah. Oh yeah, Bryden has a very Australian name.
Yeah.
Coverdale, you know. I really want to be an announcer.
It's mostly the Bryden.
Yeah, Bryden.
Yeah.
Can I just be your announcer everywhere you go? I just walk in first and I go, introducing Bryden Coverdale.
You're really doing like a New Zealand, I think.
I'm in between. I live in Tasmania.
How about Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, we just thought maybe she was. She's in the movie Australia, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We said yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much our reasoning too for saying yes.
Nicole Kidman was born in Honolulu.
Wow.
On vacation, or
Yeah.
Is she a dual citizen? Where's her paperwork? I'm curious.
you know, it was the weirdest thing.
People from Honolulu, you got to question where they're born, I think.
Pass.
We're going to see about Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, we were hoping that she was hopelessly devoted to
I was just
Australia.
gonna say that.
But no, let's get physical here and put our pen to paper. We said that she was from Australia.
We thought maybe this one was a trap, and we said no.
She was born in the UK,
Yeah.
where her grandfather won a Nobel Prize, in fact.
Oh, which we learned yesterday is made of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't know.
Huh. Guy Pearce.
He said yeah.
Yeah, he's got it written on his arm to remind him.
Oh, we didn't know. We figured some of these had to be no's, and turns out a lot of them had to be no's. But we said no here.
He was born in the United Kingdom.
Hey, exactly what I thought.
How about Margot Robbie?
We said yes.
We said no.
This is a yes. This is the other one who's from Australia. She's from some rural community in middle of nowhere in Queensland. Charlize Theron.
That's a no.
Yeah, we knew she was from South Africa, so on the strength of that, we said no.
Yeah, Charlize Theron is the only one of these who's not Australian in any way at all. She's definitely South African. Keith Urban.
So this was a tricky one too. We think he's well known for being Australian, but he's actually a New Zealander, right?
Yeah, that's what we thought. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's from New Zealand. And
We said yes, and we were wrong.
that is correct. Just gloss over
Reference.
And finally, Naomi Watts.
So we said yes, but mathematically it must be no.
that. Yep, same boat.
Mathematically, it is no. She is from the United Kingdom.
500 points apiece? How did we work this?
Yeah,
These
500.
were actually just 5 points.
5,000.
I like that way better.
All right, so for 500 points apiece, we got 5 right, so that's 2,500. for us.
Yikes. So we're at 10,000.
And we're at 10,500.
We're going to break a record today.
I think so.
All right, well, round 2 begins with this question. First question, round 2. Some things, like the rule of law and much of the economy, only exist because we agree to believe they exist. This effect is named for what pot-fixing fairy?
I'll let them lock in because I'm just going to go through my reasoning here.
I have a really good idea. I mean, we can lock in. Do you want to talk about it?
You can lock it in if you want. Go bold.
Locked in, and then we'll talk about it anyway.
So Colleen just directed a production of Peter and the Starcatcher, which is sort of like an origin story of Peter Pan, kind of like Wicked for Wizard of Oz. And there's a scene when Peter's getting his name. He got the name Peter, and then they needed to give him a family name, and they said Pan, and there's a joke in it that he's like, oh, I'm named after a household appliance or whatever. So I'm thinking, could it either be Peter Pan, who I guess technically is not a fairy, but Tinkerbell is his fairy, and she's fixing a pot, and his name is Pan. So that was my logic. I don't know if that's too far, but I've never heard of this effect, so that's why I thought of Tinkerbell first, because she's...
That's fine. I don't. There's something in the back of my head about the pot fixing reference, but I can't.
Yeah.
So Tinkerbell's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you have to believe to get there, right?
Yeah, that's the reference that I latched onto and said it's probably Tinkerbell, and then we locked in without talking, but we said Tinkerbell.
It is Tinkerbell. It used to be that tinkers were the people who fixed pots in the olden days, and that's where Tinkerbell got her name, because she could magically fix pots. And of course, you clap to make sure she exists. So that is correct.
The
it is
weakest
Tinkerbell.
superpower, pot fixing.
The old pot-fixing superhero. They're always busy, though. They make a living. He goes home with his suitcase, like, another day of pots. Surely.
What's the Japanese art of reassembling broken things, Ken?
Kintsugi.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So she's the Kintsugi superhero.
That sounds. I'm going to write that down. That's going to be a trivia question for me somewhere.
That's a great superhero name, too. It could just be Kensuke, the pot-fixing...
Yeah.
Yeah, so kintsugi, just for your reference, is they take pottery and they solder it with gold. And the idea is that something that's broken and then reassembled into something beautiful is greater than the original piece itself. And I named one of my songs Kintsugi many years ago, and then Death Cab for Cutie named an album Kintsugi, and I was like, I'm not changing the name of that song.
Number 12. What history-changing event started accidentally at a press conference when Politburo spokesman Gunter Skabowski misunderstood a note he was discussing?
Taking that word, though, Politburo, it kind of brings us to a country, though.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of what history-making events.
And we know roughly what Politburo means.
Yeah. So what country? What? Yeah, maybe.
Okay. We're going to lock in with guess here.
Anything?
Oh, no, nothing. None of those words meant anything to me.
I feel like I'm a little out of my depths. But what do you think would have started when somebody misread? I'm trying to remember if this is connecting to anything in my brain.
Yeah, I got literally nothing. Why don't you just say something and we'll lock in?
Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that's not really stupid.
That's my life. Maybe something about the Berlin Wall. I don't know.
Sure. Why not?
Officially locked in with something about the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, the Berlin Wall did come to mind for me, too. We believe that Politburo kind of revolves around Soviet-era communist Russia. So we're thinking Cold War type stuff. I did think about the Berlin Wall, but we went with Bay of Pigs.
It's the Berlin Wall. It's the fall of the Berlin Wall. Mm-hmm. I loved how this worked because you were nowhere near it. Not the Berlin Wall. What the hell?
And we were totally near it, and we failed.
It's good because Ken and I missed a question about the height of the Berlin Wall the other day, and I was very sad.
Berlin Wall is not very high.
I did talk you out of it. Apparently, the height of the Berlin Wall is on average about
15 feet, and you said make it a little taller. I said I stood next to it.
All right, and then I asked you how many Kens tall it was, and you couldn't give me a good answer.
I said about 3, so maybe a little less than 3.
Right, so we went a little
feet.
higher.
It was 13 feet. 12
it's 12 feet on average, apparently.
Berlin Wall slightly longer than basketball height.
There's an interesting story about this particular event because this Politburo guy got a memo. It was all communist jargon about someday we'll consider opening the Berlin Wall. And he looked at it and said, Berlin Wall's open. And by the time they realized he made a terrible mistake, there were too many people gathered at the wall to shoot, so they had to open it up. And
Wow.
history changed. Communism fell. Berlin Wall fell. Yeah.
If that happened now, on Twitter, someone on his account would have put that picture of Will Arnett from Arrested Development.
I made a tiny, huge mistake.
Yeah. Just knowing social media now.
Yeah. Number 13. Even if you lump in Clearwater and Tampa, what U.S. city is still much less populous than the European one for which it is named?
I know where we're talking about here.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
So you're locked in?
I wanted to just run it by Matt real quick, but
We can lock in. I got nothing on it.
Yeah, so my family does a lot of used to do a lot of vacationing in Clearwater and Tampa area, and also in that area is St. Petersburg.
Oh,
Florida.
right.
much less populous than the Russian city. Yep, we said St. Petersburg.
That's exactly right. In every detail.
Nice poll. I knew we were in Florida. I just didn't know where.
Gotta hit up my grandpa's condo, you know?
Hey.
You're Gulf side people?
Hmm?
You're Gulf side people?
Am I a Gulf side person? No, I'm from Chicago.
Number 14. A little bit of a harder one here. What high-ranking company announced in 2018 that it was planning a, quote, shared universe set of movies inspired by its breakfast cereals, Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry? Parenthetic, I'm convinced this was a hoax. I can't imagine a shared universe set of movies about Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry. But even so, we want the high-ranking company that announced this in 2018.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're locked in.
These are General Mills, aren't
That's
they?
what I thought. Yeah. I know they're not Post, and I don't believe they're Kellogg, so I'm good with General Mills.
Yep, General is a pretty high rank, so...
Yeah, famous for the Battle of Shiloh, where he fed an entire army. General
Booberry.
Mills. Booberry.
It is General Mills.
I believe the ghost on Booberry is actually a Civil War ghost. It's a slain Union soldier.
I've got gangrene.
Wasn't there a fourth one based on something else?
Frankenberry?
Like a werewolf or something?
There was a werewolf.
It didn't work, and then they canceled it, or some such. I
There
don't know.
should be a werewolf cereal, because then you could just have the full moons as the marshmallow.
Yeah.
See, look at $1 million idea there, guys. Just take it.
And the cereal part is Cookie Crisp.
The milk could
Yep.
color change it into a full moon.
Ah, there you go. Oh man, look at this. We should create cereals over here.
No one
I
eats
know.
cereal anymore. Too many carbs.
That's true.
That's a problem.
Trash.
Carbs aren't the problem.
Those kind of carbs are the problem.
Our fifth question of round two. What is the unusual weather forecast in the title of a 1978 kids book by Ron and Judy Barrett?
I got it.
Yep, I got it too.
Is this cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be an unusual weather forecast.
And if that was the book that the movie was based on, that makes sense timeline-wise, right?
Didn't know it was based on a book, but that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I hope it is, because I just made it up. But
I'm good going with it. I don't have anything else.
okay, we're gonna lock in with that.
Yep, a sneaky, hilarious movie. I don't usually go for the computer animated stuff too much, but this movie is hilarious. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Another 1,000 points all around.
Yeah, I believe that's Phil Lord and Chris Miller, funny directors of 21 Jump Street. So it looks like we're at question 5. So what's our totals here?
14,500 for us. I believe you guys are at 15,000 even then, right?
That is correct.
That is correct.
It's close. Number 6. In 2019, Bianca Andreescu became the first person from what country to win a Grand Slam event? And as a hint, she apologized for winning the U.S. Open.
You guys are locked in, right? Is that what you said?
That is correct.
I don't remember this one, but the clue that she apologized makes me think of a country that's always saying sorry. And I think it might be Canada.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right, we're going to lock in with Canada.
Yep. Well known for its polite apologies. We went with Canada.
Yep. And by the way, we say sorry with an O sound because we think there's an O in the word sorry, which is why we pronounce it that way. We're crazy
Okay.
that way. 17. Thanks to Cleveland citrus grower Julia Tuttle, what is the only major American city founded by a woman?
This name is familiar to me, and I can't place it. Obviously, yeah. I mean, things like Orange County come to mind if you're talking about citrus.
Yeah, I was thinking of other citrus items.
I mean, there could be a city called Orange. There's no reason it couldn't be. Like limes. Lime is a citrus. Lemon.
Lemon.
Cleveland. Why is Cleveland in there? Is that flavor or is that something?
Maybe it is supposed to lead you to that area, but I don't know anything about Ohio.
You don't know anything about Akron?
I mean, the Cleveland football team is the Browns, yet their helmets are orange.
They are. Also,
it's because they were named for their owner, Paul Brown.
that is correct.
Oh, what was the name of the fairy? Remember the old mascot?
Tinkerbell.
No, yeah.
The little
Brownie
Brownie
the elf.
Oh yeah, Brownie the elf. Yeah,
He's
that was
back.
great. He's back. Merry Christmas.
Do they still play in Paul J. Brown Stadium? Or Paul Brown Stadium or whatever? Yeah.
By the way, Tuttle on Urban Dictionary means a short, ill-tempered man who's obsessed with food.
I like the bagel
Very
boss.
specific.
I don't know where that comes from, but
Someone with an arch enemy named Tuttle, probably.
yeah.
Let's see. We could just say orange. I don't know. Orange something. Orangetown. Orangeville.
Okay, Orangeville.
sure.
All right, we're
Breaking
going
on
with
down to Orangeville.
we're going with Orange County because we don't know the OC.
Well, you were right. You're right to focus on the citrus growing part. It's a newer city. It's Miami.
Oh,
Miami, Florida.
Wow, that's a big. That's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah. This will, if I'm counting correctly, be number 18.
Mm-hmm.
London's Canonbury Square now has dozens of closed-circuit cameras trained on it. Ironically, what very famous book was written there in the 1940s?
I have this.
Okay.
You're in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it would be a reference to Big Brother, which is 1984.
Yeah. George Orwell wrote the book in 1984 while he was in that square, and now it's basically a surveillance plaza.
Yep, that is exactly right, in 1984. So in 19, more than half the world's koalas have what? Venereal disease.
I think I know this, Matt, but we can talk about it.
I think I know this one too. Hold on, let me just check my medicine cabinet.
Isn't it the other one?
Oh, it's not this one. What's the one you're thinking of? There's so many to choose from. It's like it's a potpourri of venereal diseases.
I'm 99% sure, Matt.
Okay.
Oh,
We can lock in, but I just really wanted to talk about venereal
Oh,
diseases.
don't worry, we will.
ooh, I don't know. That's two really good venereal diseases. We gotta.
Which one do you prefer to have?
As an answer?
The first one I prefer
Let's
to
go
have.
with the first one.
Okay. Well, there is enough treatment that it'll go away pretty quick. So.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's chlamydia. The reason I say that is because there was a bit about John Oliver's name being assigned to a koala research like chlamydia award on Last Week Tonight not that long ago. So I feel like it's chlamydia.
That's why I wrote. I couldn't remember why when he said it. Yeah, we also wrote down chlamydia.
And if I ever have a daughter, I'm gonna name her Chlamydia.
Stay away, boys, or girls.
She'll be grateful for that, I'm sure. It is chlamydia. Yeah, and that whole bit involved Russell Crowe, who, as we just learned, is actually from New Zealand. So,
Yeah, was that the Russell Crowe jockstrap from Gladiator bit?
Mystery Alaska.
that's right. Yeah. So this is number 20, our last question before the end game. In Washington State, you're going to find a sign reading, quote, "Welcome to Aberdeen, come as you are." This is in honor of what rock star who grew up in Aberdeen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're
think-
good, Matt.
You're locked in.
Yeah, we can. I think so.
Come as you are is probably Kurt Cobain, right? Isn't that Nirvana?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll lock in with Curtis Cobain.
Yeah.
Or Kurt Cobain officially. I don't know
We
if his
knew that.
name's actually Curtis. That was
I
just a
don't think
joke.
it is. But yeah, I was thinking they're out of Seattle, I think, as a band. So we said Kurt Cobain.
It is Kurt Cobain. The ironic part is he hated Aberdeen a lot.
Mm.
All right. So it looks like after all is said and done, we have 18,500, and you guys have 19,000. So it's gonna be close.
When did they overtake us? Was it the Politburo?
It was that.
Yeah. Something about the Berlin Wall.
Unbelievable. Unbelievably bad luck.
I mean,
is-
look, we flipped a coin twice on Friday the 13th, which we maybe should have gotten, and Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. So
You know what? If you shoot those pucks at the net, sometimes they go in.
that's right.
That's right.
We just need a lucky bounce here in this this final round.
I'm glad you like the highest variance sport skill wise in the Big Four, Ken.
So what are our final categories there, Paul?
Your final categories are questions with clues in them, smug agendas for board games, more like a quote-unquote pimp-dressed man, that darn penis, and unsurprising media bias. These are all questions we did in the Ottawa Trivia League, so they're a little bit different here.
So we can wager up to 3,000 points.
That's correct.
No.
30,000. No. Yeah.
Up to
you're right.
3,000.
3,000 per. Yeah.
So while we figure out math and more importantly our wagers, while we're doing that, Jeff, why don't we talk just a little bit about Patreon and to plug our YouTube channel. If you've watched all of Bloodsport, if you haven't started Bloodsport, all the video episodes are there for season 2, which will be done by the time this comes out.
Yep.
So you will know who the winner is, but we won't say it just because I don't think Paul's watched it, so maybe we'll just keep it a secret here. But why don't you talk a little bit about Patreon, how Bloodsport was possible, and how people can get in touch with us and get involved in supporting the show?
Yeah, for those of you who've only listened to the audio-only version of Bloodsport, I hope you are enjoying it. But if you have the time to watch the video version, I'm going to say Neal has put in an incredible amount of work. It's really good. The graphics are excellent. I'm really impressed with what we were able to do with it this season. We went above and beyond over last year. So if you have time to watch Bloodsport, check it out on our YouTube channel. It's a real treat. That was only possible via the support we get on Patreon, so we're really appreciative of that. That's obviously why we highlighted patrons only for Bloodsport. If it's possible, we're going to be doing another one soon. It's going to be same deal. We're going to be pulling names from our patrons to show support and appreciation for what they do for us. If you want to support the show, you can do so patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. That's it.
And Bloodsport
Thank you.
does have full frontal nudity in it.
It's the outlaw
So
king
if
of trivia competitions.
But you have to watch all the way to the end of the video.
Yes.
Neal only goes full backle though.
The final episode, as Jeff said, I just am hosting, just from my back-facing camera, just completely naked, right?
It's like a reverse of that D'Angelo video.
Yeah, right. And that's why question 4 is called That Darn Penis, because you just don't see it.
Yeah.
There we go.
And and we finish off Bloodsport by playing the fun game, Whose Dong Is It?
I think you meant to say dongle for our iPhones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both teams are all in on this final round. So let's see how it goes.
Exciting. Questions with clues in them. Now, how's that for a title for a category, right? So, first question. It was probably all the small things that finally wrecked what band with the departure of Tom DeLonge in 2005? Second one, smug agendas for board games. What game released a socialism edition subtitled Winning is for Capitalists, which involved a community fund into which all players must contribute, rampant bankruptcies, and nothing getting done? Our third one, more like a pimp dress man. Clean shirt, new shoes, silk suit, black tie, gold watch, diamond ring, cufflink, stick pin, top coat, top hat, black shades, white gloves. What band believes somehow this is how a sharp-dressed man dresses? That darn penis. Japanese athlete Hiroki Ojita was eliminated from what event at the Rio Olympics thanks to his penis getting in the way? And our fifth one, unsurprising media bias. In a story that the media did not cover much, a survey from Lelo UK found that farmers had the most sex. People with occupation had the least sex.
Podcast hosts.
Actually, when we did the question of the Trivia League, half my host joked, the answer is not trivia hosts.
All right. Well, we'll mull these over and then we'll be back. Okay. So with both teams wagering 3,000 points on every question, everybody's locked in. So let's get the questions one more time. We'll give our answers. See how it all shakes out.
All right. Questions with clues in them. It was probably all the small things that finally wrecked what band with the departure of Tom DeLonge in 2005.
Yeah, as we were saying, some would mark it as a blessing in disguise because we're big fans of Matt Skiba, And we said Blink 182.
Yeah, we know Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio took over recently, and so we know this is Blink 182.
Absolutely, Blink 182. Our second one, Smug Agendas for Board Games. What game released a Socialism Edition, subtitled Winning is for Capitalists, which involved a community fund in which all players must contribute, rampant bankruptcies, and nothing getting done.
Yeah, the game that comes to mind that just doesn't really work if you play it in a socialism style is Monopoly.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. We said Monopoly.
Yep, no, it's 2 for 2. That is Monopoly. More like a pimp dressed man. Silk, clean shirt, new shoes, silk suit, black tie, gold watch, diamond rings, cufflinks, stick pen, top coat, top hat, black shades, white gloves. What band believes somehow that this is how a sharp-dressed man dresses?
This is a song that I hate. ZZ Top.
I am much more a fan of the bright chrome shades, but we said ZZ Top.
Yep, or as we call them in Canada, ZZ Top. That darn penis. Japanese athlete Hiroki Ojita was eliminated from what event at the Rio Olympics thanks to his penis getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Please let us know if you need us to be more specific, but we put gymnastics.
I think that this was where he went up and he was just about to clear the pole, and then something tapped it. Pole falls down. He gets disqualified. We said pole vaulting.
It is pole vaulting.
Oh.
That's your quintessential good news, bad news situation. The bad news, you lost the Olympics. The good news, your penis is so big that it cost you the gold medal.
The truest version of pole vaulting.
Don't you go over the pole vault backwards though?
No, high jump you do.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't go over.
No, I think the Fosbury flop is where you're going over your back, and that's the high jump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just sort of put the pole in and go
However
over.
they end up over, yeah.
Oh, because
okay.
he would go up and then he would spin going.
Yeah, you turn on the way down.
Penis forward.
Kind of.
Got it.
Although this story is even better if they do go over the back, and it's still his penis that got in the way.
Yeah, we thought he was on the pommel horse and he kept turkey tapping himself.
When he said it, I was like, yeah, that's right. It was pole vaulting.
And finally, unsurprising media bias. And the story that the media did not cover much. A survey from Lilo UK found that farmers had the most sex. People with occupation have the least sex.
Well, we said since it's a media bias and they didn't cover it much, we said journalists.
Yeah, I remember reading this story and thinking, what's good at killing sexual arousal? Having no time and being depressed. And who's good at that lately? Journalists. So we said journalists.
And having no money, too. So, yes, it is journalists.
All right, so it came down to one question. It was the penis question.
It was.
It all hinged on that penis. We had a respectable 27,500, Neal.
Yeah, it's our greatest score ever.
It's kind of a blessing in disguise that we lost. So now we can do our impressions, I guess, right?
Yes, that'll be fun.
All
That
right.
actually kind of makes me happy in a perverse way.
And with 34,000 points, today's cream of the crop is the Evergreens.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to allow a 10x multiplier on anything ever again. I'm keeping this highest ever score.
All right, good job, guys. You're the cream of the crop.
Paul, thank you very much once again for a very fun game. And where can people find Smarty Pants Monthly and join up and follow all the great things you're doing?
So TriviaHallOfFame.com. We also have daily games on there too, by the way. So TriviaHallOfFame.com. You look for the Smarty Pants link. You sign up there, and you'll get it sent to your email inbox once a month, and pay what you want.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you very much for hosting the game. Anything else you'd like to plug? Anywhere you're going to be? Any special games you're hosting?
If you're ever in Ottawa, come check out the Ottawa Trivia League, I guess, which is something that we do. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys at Geek Bowl in Chicago.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we'll have to go out and paint the town red, I guess is the phrase, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
I'm going to paint it black.
Paint it black. Yeah, that's fine. Well, thank you very much, Paul, for joining us today. Matt, thank you as always for getting out of bed, joining us in LA. Thank you to Ken and Jeff, and be on the lookout for a reading of famous poems and different impressions every line, and we'll see if you guys can guess, hopefully, who we're trying to impersonate. My name is Neal, and that was Triviality.
This is gonna be real deep, but I bumped into Nicole Kidman one time. She started describing this sailor that she saw one time to me,
Right.
in vivid detail about how she wanted to have sex with him.
Right.
I don't know what that was all about, but kind of upset me.
Made you upset?
So I went out that night and I just had a crazy sexual romp.
That's a deep reference. That's good, though.
Eyes wide shut.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.